So everything's a wave of possibility, right? Everything that you ever desire is a wave of possibility. And the only time that you don't think that it's going to happen is because you're looking at what's already available in your life and you're going from that instead of looking at what's possible. So all of the relationships that you desire, all of the wealth, the health, everything that you desire that you think is just dreams and visions, all of those things are a possibility. So, good morning. It's Elizabeth Elenor and it's Pause, and I'm here to support you to recognize that actually you can actually quantum jump into the reality that you want. You just have to get all parts of yourself to recognize how to do it. So let's dive into it. So if you have a reality, like a vision, a dream, something that you would love to experience this time in your life, then the fact that you can envision it, the fact that you desire it, means that there's a destiny. Your soul has given you that indication, given you that image for you to actually move into it. It's a possibility in this lifetime, right? Good morning, Donna. However, we have all of these possibilities because they're waves of potential, right? And through those waves, what we need to do is observe what it is that we want to create. So let's talk about the quantum, right? The quantum, what are quantum particles or subatomic particles? Everything that we can see, right? You're looking at me right now and you can observe me. So everything that you can see all my background. You might be able to look around and see the chair, or you might be driving, whatever it is that you're seeing. All of the things that are in your reality are quantum particles. They're subatomic particles that have been observed into reality. And they are, they look static, but they're made up of these quantum particles. And it's the observation that have made them a reality, made them into our dimension, our third dimension. So anything that you want to create is still there in a wave, but has to be brought down into the observation of our reality to become physical matter for us. And the very fact that you want it, the very fact that you desire it, the very fact that you're listening here means that it's a possibility for you. So I'd love for you to share with us what it is that you know that you desire, that is something that you would like to work towards in the next however many months. Now, this is the trick. This is why, I hear people say, well, I have observed, I have had this moment where I want to create this, and I think about it all the time, and I envision it, and I dream about it, and all of those things, and it's still not coming into my reality. So this is where it gets a bit tricky, because when you are observing something, if you're unconscious, which is the part of us that's working in rote, right? Like it's got a formula that is based in from its childhood, and it's up to about 12 years old. I used to say sort of 3-4 is the main time that we are absorbing all of our environment, but they're now actually saying it's up to about 12 years old that we're absorbing all of this information and locking it into our system as reality, and how we need to behave and what we think, feel, act, all of those things in the conditions that we were raised in, right? So I want you to consider, what were you raised with? Were you raised being told not to dream? Were you raised told, be a good girl, be a good boy? Were you raised with your family stressing about money, or money doesn't grow on trees, we don't have enough of that, all of those things, all of those lack mentality that most of us were raised with becomes part of our system. And now our system is locked in to believe that this is the truth and doesn't want to change. And so here we are wanting to create a new reality and drop into a new frequency, our visions, our desires, all of those things. And yet, if our nervous system that's based in what we believe is true and what we believe is safe, if our nervous system can't contain or hold or doesn't believe that that is the truth, then it will, good morning Renee, it will back up, right? It will actually start freaking out. You get those moments, right, where you're feeling really overwhelmed. Or you just go into distraction, right? And you do all sorts of other things instead of feeling your feelings. So really, when it's something big that you want to create, if your nervous system and your unconscious doesn't believe it's true, it will not come to the party and allow that manifestation to come into your life. So it's not the vision that is the issue, it's the nervous system and the unconscious that needs to be put into play so that you can bring the reality in and create something new. So how do you deal with that? How do you go about changing that? First of all, if you don't believe that you can create this reality, then break it up into sections, right? Make it a little bit, if you feel like you want to meet the love of your life, right? And if you feel like you can't do that, excuse me, if you've been on dates, if you've been, you've been on no dates, and you don't think that you can create that reality, then start taking notice of the attributes of people that you want in your life, right? So the things like the soul mate that you want to create or that you desire, the love that you desire, notice it in your reality already. You might see two people walking down the street holding hands and just notice that. And you'll notice that the unconscious, instead of going, wow, I love that and I want that in my reality, or I'm choosing that to be in my reality and feeling what it feels like to be holding hands, what we tend to do is get jealous or envious of what somebody else's reality is, and it's actually disengaging our field from their field. But when you can see in your life other people in laughing, other people connecting, other people supporting each other, you might have people in your life that are supporting you. Might not be a love relationship, but it might be a friendship. It might be, your siblings. It might be your parents. Whatever it might be, really absorb that energy in and go, yeah, I choose more of this, right? I choose to have this more and more in my life. And really observe the attributes, the behaviors of people around you and yourself that you praise, that you desire, right? Really emphasize and amplify those, because as you do that, the observation of that brings more of it into your reality. And it's the same with, finances, for example. You might want to double your income or triple your income, and your nervous system finds that that is too big a jump. So instead, just say you make, I don't know, $5,000 a month, and you want to make $100,000 a month, then instead of going, okay, $100,000, it feels a bit scary in my body. What does it feel like if I say $10,000 a month, right? And allow your nervous system just to start feeling the feeling of having more wealth, right? More love, more health in your body. Observing these things in your reality and visualizing them in a way that your nervous system feels safe with it. And it might need to be a bit of a stretch, right? Because in your nervous system, if you're in the space of being in your comfort zone, that too can stop your creations or your leaping into a different reality, because your nervous system is now taking over. However, what you want to do is you want to talk to the little boy or girl, the little inner child that has these old thought patterns of, beliefs of, money doesn't grow on trees, or there's not enough, there's, I will never be loved, feeling neglected, maybe feeling abandoned, all of those things that can be part of this little inner child's world. Start talking to yourself and reminding that little child that we've grown up now, right? That it's okay. And start giving positive reinforcement to that part of you, so that when you are desiring this part of yourself, your subconscious or your unconscious and your nervous system are starting to feel like they can regulate to this stretch, this more desired outcome that you're choosing. Keep continuing to envision what it is that you want to create. Envision, the love, the finances, whatever it is that you want to create. And then as you do that, allow your nervous system to come onto the same path, so that your nervous system can regulate to hold in the capacity. Because what you're doing is you're actually holding more light. You're holding more of your highest potential, which means that you're going to be containing more of your light. And through that process, you're actually moving into your highest desires, your soul's path, all of those things. And so the more light you hold into your body, the more your nervous system has to regulate to the capacity of holding and expanding more in your field. So I'd love to know in the comments what it is that you want to create, and be in that collective energy of holding that space and holding those desires together. Because as we do that, I'll come in and I'll personally, comment back and share that excitement and that frequency with you, so that we're all creating a new reality together. So that's me for the day. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day and your week, and I'll catch you next Tuesday.